Hello friends, and welcome to the channel. This is Stormhaven Gaming, I'm John, and this is Timberborn. Okay, we are on day 17, so we're on the second day of a 7-day drought. We should all be fine, everything's okay, we've got plenty of food and water. We're really just waiting for the Recultivator to have everything it needs to launch. We're only about 50 odd bits of paper away from all of the necessary ingredients we need to launch. Over here with our new lake, this is filling up quite well, so we are pretty close to being able to use it for its intended purpose, and in fact I'm going to stick in a Lido just there. We'll stick in, let's have a look, where can we get in some showers? Let's get a couple of showers in there, shall we? We can get a couple more just in there. Yeah, why not? What else? What else should we put up here? I think we can have a campfire. No reason why we can't have one of those up here. And honestly, there's a bunch of other stuff we could get. A couple of contemplation spots, maybe. There we go. And some decorations. We'll start with a couple of lamp posts and a couple of bushes, and then we'll stick a statue in there. There we go. And we can have a couple of benches as well. There we go, a little area in there. In fact, let's get another bush in behind there as well. Okay, so that's starting to turn into a nice little relaxation area for our beavers. Why are you're thirsty and injured, are you? Alright. Our injury rate isn't too bad at the moment. We'll see how that goes. We've got, what have we got? We've got our observatory turned off. We've got one of our smelters turned off, and we've got one of our dirt extractors turned off. This dirt extractor is down to just 2 workers. So we should be okay. We're building up stocks of gears and metal blocks, treated planks and all of that we've been using a lot of. We do need to build up stocks of books again, ideally, but hopefully that will happen once we've got enough paper in the Recultivator. Across here it looks like this water is pretty much clear of contamination. That's at 0%. So, I mean, these are pumping away. They're not drawing a huge amount out, as you can see. There we are. There is still some trace of bad water in here, but barely any at all, really. We'll keep those running though, just to keep that being cleared out. Down here in our collection area, we've got the pine trees set up for pine resin. We've got the maple trees set up for maple syrup, and we've got the chestnut trees set up for chestnuts. So all of that is providing for our community. We've got our floodgates in here so that we have additional water that we can spill in to this area if we need to. We shouldn't, I mean, for a 7-day drought, we shouldn't really need to. No water is being drained from this area. This is entirely down to, or any water loss is entirely down to evaporation. Yeah, so I think we're pretty much good. There's not a lot else we need to worry about on this map. I don't know what we're going to do in terms of greening any more of it, because, I mean, it would be very difficult, honestly. There's not a lot else we can do. We can't really green this area because this is an escape valve for the bad water produced by this water source under here. Other than, I suppose, just closing it up and letting the bad water flow into here and be diluted during a bad tide. We have tried to get that chamber in there to pressurize, and it doesn't seem to work. There always seems to be bad water leaking in there, no matter how early we close that up. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, if If we could prevent any bad water from coming out of here, then putting some dams or floodgates at the end here wouldn't be a terrible idea at all. We wouldn't want it necessarily any deeper than this 1 tile deep, because obviously we've got all of this over here that is only separated by this little narrow channel that we've got our zip line coming through, unless we just remove that and block that up. But even then, I mean, I suppose we could get it sort of this deep, couldn't we, by closing that up? Maybe? Maybe? Alright. Okay. Let's have a look then. Where are we? Let's get a path all the way down here. In fact, let's get ourselves a zipline station down here as well. And then we can maybe block up some of this a little bit. We need to get this to this height, basically. So, what's that? 4 tiles high. So, blocking off both of these to 4 tiles high. May be worth doing. It may be worth doing. Alright, let's spin on until we've got this zip line built. Right then, there we go. That's built there. So, let's get ourselves... I'm going to get a couple of levees in. I'm also going to put in, I think, a sluice at the bottom. It's not going to let us put a sluice in there because that's right on the edge of the map. Alright, well, never mind. Let's put a levee in it anyway. Okay, so we need this to be 3 higher than that. So... like so, and we'll stick a couple of dams on the top there. We will... how are we going to do this? Let's come in from here. There we go. And that should be enough for us to build all the way across. There we are. Right. So that will block that one off. For the moment, the water can flow out this way. But we'll come across and we'll basically do the same over here. Yeah. That should work, I think. We may need to wait until the next drought to do that, because we're going to need to basically shut this off as well. So, once this is built, that's why I wanted to put a sluice in so we could keep it flowing at the bottom. What I might do on this one is set it 1 back from the edge so we can do that. Okay, you may have noticed that we have paper building up again, which means we have enough in our Earth Recultivator to set that off. We also, down here, have our Fountain of Joy set up. I do realise that I've probably built it facing the wrong way, but it's okay. It covers this area, the area that we need it to cover anyway, so that's fine. I'm not going to set this off just yet, or am I? What are we on? We're on 64 well-being. What's... I mean, it does look like the only thing that's holding us back is that recultivator. And we are late enough for everybody to be in bed, or at least near their house. Alright, okay. Oops, didn't mean to pause it. Let's set this off. There we go. Lovely stuff. Oh, isn't that pretty? All of the little seeds being sent off to recultivate the planet. And it sounds like we've just leveled up our well-being as well, which is hardly surprising. Oof, look at that, straight up to 73. That's pretty good. Congratulations, you've mastered folktales, nature-oriented ways, and used this map's resources to build the faction's wonder. Having collected great wealth of knowledge, your beavers shared fruits of their labour with the suffering planet. There's still much to do, but Earth may flourish once again. There we go. So that's technically the map completed. We've spent 632 days in the map. We've had 908 beavers born. I honestly thought that would be more. 154,594 water consumed. 13,536 tails painted. 65,645 trees cut. 75 teeth broken. No bots. And 3,796 dynamite set off. Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah. Excellent stuff. We're still not quite at maximum well-being, but we are working towards it. What's holding us back? Not everyone was in range of the Recultivator when we set it off. Really? Really? Alright. Still a little bit of injury. Alright. So there's bits and pieces missing here, so we'll see. We'll see if we can get that up any further. There we go then. That's the end of the drought. Obviously we did fine. Plenty of water, plenty of food. All of that stuff is fine. Our paper is, yeah. I mean, we're using it all to fill up our Recultivator again. So that's going to take a little while to balance out. Does mean our bookstores are dropping as well, which isn't ideal. But we do still have 90 odd in stock. So hopefully we'll be all right. We have 3 paper mills producing, so we should be okay. We do have the slight issue that our fountain has run out of water. Just spin around there. Oh, we don't need this anymore. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, so the water level in our reservoir up here decreased to the point where the fountain no longer functions. But that's okay. That shouldn't take too long to fill back up once the water sources start flowing again. Hopefully by the end of the day that will be active again, so that should be fine. We're still at a well-being of 72, which is okay. I mean, okay, it's pretty good. We haven't reached the maximum yet, but we'll work on that. Across here, our little entertainment area, our fake lake, is doing okay. We've got our Lido in, we've got our benches, we've got our campfire. We could certainly put in something like a rooftop terrace, couldn't we? Let's do that. Where can we do that? That's going to be... How about right there? That's going to be right on the path. Excellent. Yep, we'll stick that in there. So that's doing all right. We will put in a forester and start planting some trees around sooner or later. We won't do it just yet. Down here, our first barrier is set up. The second one is going in there. I will, yeah, just set that sluice to open so any water that flows in down here before it's completed can leave the map. And once this is obviously done, we can destroy this zipline station, destroy this zipline station, and close up this section here. So that this can actually fill with water. What I might do I want to? Is it worth it? I was going to say, is it worth bringing this section down? No, I don't think so. I think we'll leave it for the moment. It's not really worth it. We're not going to be using this for anything other than filling with water, so it's fine. In here we do have ruins. If we get rid of the water for a second. I said we do have ruins down here, and we do obviously have a mine down here that we could set up. I think the water's probably clear enough at the moment that we could get in here and start collecting this scrap. But in terms of scrap, we have over 1,000 in storage. We don't really need any. No. I mean, I suppose we could turn off the mine that we've got active Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so down here we've got our mine. Let's pause this for the moment. That'll also give us a few more spare beavers. And over here, let's see if we can figure out a way to do this. I suppose the easiest way would just be coming down there, bringing a path around there a little bit, and then steps down like so. Like that, and then I don't know, we're not going to be able to put an actual work spot under there, are we? That's not going to work, is it? If it's underwater, it's not going to work. Well, I suppose we could try. Other than that, it would be coming around the edge here, sticking the work spot up here, and then coming down there, maybe? No, because that wouldn't work. Putting it up here and coming down that way? That might work. Oh well, we'll see. Over here, then, this is nearly filled up enough to start activating our fountain again. Very nearly. We aren't overflowing yet. We don't have the sluice turned on here to drain water, so this should be filling up. Alright, let's spin on for a little longer then. There we are, dawn of day 2. That is now flowing, and our fountain is working. Lovely stuff. Okay, this overflow channel is filling. I'm going to now open up the sluice here, so that should flow through. These are set to 175. That should be okay. That shouldn't cause any flooding here, but we'll see. That water should be able to flow through. Just checking these were set. These are set as well. So yeah, that should be alright. That should flow all the way through there. We are getting water flowing through from in here, so that should be running down through here. Yep, that's all flowing through here pretty well. Excellent stuff. Right. Still waiting for this to be finished, so let's spin on for another couple of days. Right then, halfway through day 3, all of our barriers down here are set up. So, I'm going to get rid of this zipline station, like so. If we spin around, I'm also going to get rid of this zipline station, like so. We might as well get rid of those. No, let's not bother getting rid of those stairs. Okay, oops. So this needs to be closed up to a height of 3. What are you doing? What are you? You're coming to collect all these resources, are you? Is that what you're doing? Yes, that's what you're doing. All right. Well, I'll let them get on and do that then. I have played on till day 5. As you can see, we've got everything shut off down here. We've also got that little section shut off as well. So this should, in theory, be able to fill once the water starts flowing through here. We are a little bit away from the water flowing through here because this still hasn't quite filled up. This reservoir here hasn't quite filled up enough to flow. We're not far off. That will start flowing relatively soon. And then we just need to fill this reservoir and let it flow over that way. These are still pumping bad water, technically. Yep. It's going to take a little while. Over here, this didn't work. The the scrap collector down here didn't work, obviously, because it was underwater. Kind of knew that was going to happen. So I have set up for them to be able to come around this way to start collecting from it. As you can see, they are building their way across, even as we speak. So chances are they'll build that before they get all the steps built. But it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, we are just waiting for this water to fill, start flowing that way. And then it will start slowly filling all of this, in theory. I do have these 2 water pumps turned off, so that this should fill a little more quickly. Little being the operative word there. But over here, everything is going well. We've even filled up our Earth Recultivator again. So that's good. Book-wise, we're not doing great. I may need to put in another book printer. Yeah, there we are. That's this scavenger flag down here has nothing to do because it can't reach. So we'll pause that for the moment. Okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to play on for a little while. We'll let this fill up and overflow, hopefully. We'll see. There we are. It is starting to overflow, but it's going to take quite a while, several days for this to sort of fill up, I would think. And then that needs to start overflowing into there. And then it needs to start filling up all of this. So, yeah, it's going to take some time. Okay, day 8, and we are getting more flooding problems up here. We've just started overflowing through here a couple of days ago, but suddenly, for some reason, we've got flooding up here that we didn't get before. I've lowered these floodgates, and I've lowered the floodgates further down, so hopefully that should recede. It looks like... There we go. There we go. That's good. Excellent stuff. Right. Over here, the water is flowing. I've closed up this sluice down here, if I can select it. There we go. I've closed up that, so we should be slowly filling this area up now, and slow is definitely the term. Because all we're really getting is a little trickle out of this reservoir here. So this is the only water that's actually flowing into that area. So it is going to be a very, very slow fill. It may not even be enough to combat evaporation. We'll have to see. But this is set up and is collecting scrap metal. As you can see, if we get rid of the water there, it is able to swim down there and access all of this, which is great. So we'll be getting some scrap metal in from that. We're still over 1,200 in stock, so we're not in desperate need of it. But we've built up a decent stock of paper again. We've started to replace our stocks of books, so hopefully that will increase. And everything else is doing okay. Not great, but okay. Food-wise, we're fine. And water, we're doing pretty well as well. So all that is all right. Yeah, I think we're pretty good there. So what I'll do is I'll spin on till the next drought or bad tide, and we'll see how quickly, if at all, this fills up. There we go. Okay, day 11 has brought with it the drought warning. As you can see, this is starting to fill. So we filled up the main channel. It's spilled out over the edge and has filled up this little trench over here. This might work. Might being the operative word again. Over here, I was considering removing these barriers here. There we go. These blockages. And replacing them with another floodgate. Just so that we could divert some of this water this way. I mean, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't do that. Really? I mean, we can start actually by getting rid of that one. And maybe getting some dirt in there so we can get our floodgates across this section here. It would allow sort of additional water to flow through this way. That's my thinking there. Yeah, all right. Yeah, well, we will do that. Let's get this dirt in place first. Up here, our flooding problems seem to have resolved themselves, so that's nice. Water is flowing fairly steadily through there without any problems. Everything is well hydrated. Our food is growing and being collected. How are we doing for potatoes? Oh, looks like we've filled up our stores of raw potatoes again. So that's good. All of our stores of cooked food are pretty much at maximum. Yeah, everything's going fine over here. Over here I've planted some trees. We do have a forester in here. We've planted up a couple of trees. I just want to get rid of the last few planting orders now that they're done. There we go. We can get rid of this forester now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it around here, and we'll do the same once that's built. We'll dot a few trees around, see if we can get them to grow, and then spread. And there we go. The drought has arrived. It's going to be 9 days, which is pretty lengthy for this, or for these settings. But everything is closed up. Everything should be okay. This lake here is pretty full. Not excessively full. It is still overflowing down here, so that's okay. That should ease up. We do have a little bit of flooding down at the end here. I'll let a little bit more out into the this other section. There we go. That's probably all right. Yeah, probably. Down here, we have replaced the blockages with floodgates so that we can divert some of this water down through this section, which seems to be working because this little area has filled up pretty well, or is in the process of filling up pretty well. And over here we're in the process of putting in some more trees. Yeah, I think we're pretty much at the end of this map, honestly. I don't really think there's much more worthwhile that we can do. I finished off our power grid here, our windmills. We are now producing 17,500 horsepower, which is pretty good. And honestly, all that remains is to try and get 75 well-being. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the hours right down to 10, so they've got plenty of time to enjoy themselves of an evening. We've got over 500 paper, so we can set this off twice, realistically. Not that we probably need to, but we can do if we want to. Yeah, everything's good, really. I think I'm going to spin on till the end of the drought, and then we'll set off the Recultivator one more time, and we'll see if we can get... Well, we'll see how high we can get our well-being. Right, about halfway through the drought then. We are doing okay. I've put in another printing press and prioritised it, because we ran out of books completely. Yeah. Absolutely wiped out our collection of books. So we'll see how we do with 3 printing presses. That might be enough. I've pushed the working hours back up to 12. So yeah, half the day working, half the day relaxing. We'll see what that does to our well-being. At the moment, I think we're all right. For some reason, we've got a little bit of lack of roof access. Where would that be? That's going to be down here, isn't it? Yeah. That's going to be these houses here. All right. All right. Yeah, not really sure what we're going to do there. It's literally just these 2 houses on the end here. All right. How about... No, that's not going to work there. Let's try there. Get rid of you. We'll bring some steps down here. And bring the path in like that. And then... we'll bring that along like so. We'll get rid of these stairs and we'll connect that path up around that way. Then we can get rid of that path there and put in another 1x2 roof in that section. Yeah, let's see if that helps. There we go. End of the drought. We did okay. Okay. Water and food is absolutely fine. Our injury rate has dropped right down to 2. The level of water in our reservoir here has dropped a fair amount. Over here we've lost a lot to evaporation. But that's okay, because all of this will be replaced fairly quickly anyway. I'm going to just open this sluice up so it starts flowing straight away. We'll drop this down to about 165. These should already be set here. Yep. So yeah, everything should start flowing reasonably soon. So yeah, I think we're going to leave it there for this series, honestly. I don't think there's much more we can realistically do that's worthwhile on this map anymore. I mean, I might come back to this map again because I do enjoy it. And there might be a way to do a lot more, sort of migrate everything up onto these ridges and just flood everything. Maybe. But I that would be you'd have to plan that out from the start, and that's not really how my brain works a lot of the time. So yeah, but it would be fun to come back to. I think the next series is going to be going back to the Iron Teeth, and we'll have to find a new map for them. But in the meantime, I'm going to spin on till the end of the day, and I'm going to make sure all of our beavers are up in the housing area before we set off the Recultivator once more. Okay then, it's right at the end of the day. Let's pause it for a second. All the beavers should be in bed, so they should be in range of the Recultivator. So we're going to end the series there. As I say, next one will be the Iron Teeth again. If you've got any suggestions for maps, please pop them in the comments down below. Any other comments, please add those. All the engagement is great. Please do give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already done so. It really does help the channel out. Please check out the other videos on the channel, and please join us next time. Till then, I've been John. This has been Timberborn. Please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And bye-bye. We didn't quite make it to a well-being of 75. Oh well.